Order for where the breaking news case here and I made the bro where the office of the presidency John Dramani Mahama ne office case here Jubilee House where the Jubilee House na medini na bro breaking news case here betuja order for ansa wo hwe caption na da ho na wo hwe Julius Debra ne nim na da ho no na caption ne say office of the president bans unauthorized attendance at 80th UN General Assembly. Prior written approval from Chief of Staff required for all government officials. Tienyew. Yes, John Dramani Mahama office of the presidency. Julius Debra, Chief of Staff. Yes, ya banning unauthorized attendance at 80th UN General Assembly. Yes, UN General Assembly, 80th UN General Assembly na ebekoso no. Yes, se o pese ukobia, ubenya approval from Chief of Staff. Into John Dramani Mahama yes, Office of the President bans John Dramani Mahama wa banning unauthorized attendance. Say ye invite we, and I say John Dramani Mahama and grant permission. So obeko UN General Assembly 80th one no na wankasa obeko no a che se opese obo omane ka no disi ya na ban sa de no intinya se obi biara obeko bia no aje se Chief of Staff emma approval and san obetumi akọ UN General Assembly the 80th UN General Assembly no into office of the president oma bani and authorized attendance therefore mesaka video no manko na this video
And now the Chief of Staff has issued a directive governing Ghana's participation in the 80th United Nations General Assembly and associated events in New York. In line with the directive, no minister, deputy minister, civil or public servant, CEO or managing director of a state-owned enterprise, political appointee or any staff of government may accept any invitation to or attend UN General Assembly or any related side meetings, panels, receptions, bilateral engagements, or third-party events without the express prior written approval of the Chief of Staff. And this is the very latest coming from the presidency. So what do you make of this very directive from the presidency?
This is very, very good in the sense that, one, you are cutting down costs, okay, which should now be taxpayers' money and go against the government in itself. In the past, not related to Ghana alone, we've noticed where African states who send representatives to this General Assembly pick people who are not even supposed to be there. Go there. We've heard stories about people going in there and not focusing on assembly itself, but they want going shopping and whatnot. This is very good in a sense that now we as a country, I'm sure we have a representative who is supposed to liaise with the United Nations. So when you have a representative, you can even talk about the high commissioners in there, in the US, plus the UN representatives that the president has elected. So these plus the foreign affairs minister, these are representatives that are supposed to what? Represent the country. So then you don't need a collective number of appointees and whatnot to be there, because then what will it bring? It's just, going to be a cost to the taxpayer. So this directive is very good, and I pray and hope that this directive will be replicated in the upcoming events, international or national events that we have. So, for example, if you have a national event here in another region, the minister, deputy minister in that region, and the heads of appointees in those regions should represent. So we don't have people from Greater Accra necessarily going in there if the need is not supposed to be there. But I think this is good for us trying to minimize cost spending and trying to keep the public purse, in check.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Victor Doke. He is a security analyst, sharing with us his expertise on the Ghanatube conflict and the new directive for the presidency regarding Ghana's participation at the UN General Assembly. If you're just tuning in watching Weekend Central here on TV3 with me, Josh Quinn, in more news this afternoon, it's the final day of campaigning ahead of the closely contested Akwatia by-election. The two leading political...
Out of 4 course, breaking news about John Dramani Mahama office of the presidency, are banning unauthorized attendance at the 80th UN General Assembly. You see, this time round, ɔman ne pɛ sɛ ɔcut down cost nti ne sɛ ɛba ne sɛ John Dramani Mahama approve anaasɛ John Dramani Mahama ka sɛ ɛbi 80th UN General Assembly no ɛwɔ sɛ wokɔ bia ɛwɔ sɛ Chief of Staff Julius Dobra no ɔma prior approval ɛwɔ sɛ Chief of Staff Julius Dobra ɛma approval written approval ɛkyɛ sɛ John Dramani Mahama through ɔno any permission nkɔfo two-way agrante permission sɛ obetumi akɔ ɛyɛ saa UN General Assembly 80th UN General Assembly yɛ saa dia untumi nkɔ saa nyamanyama we nyina ɔmo yɛ nyinaa no is to cut down cost ɔdɔfoɔ we na breaking news abeto dwa me so bedi nyina brɛ ɛwɔ Ghana tube ɔdɔfoɔ man kɔ na ɛntwa nsɛm we so nyina bra ɛwɔ Ghana tube so.
Parties have been moving from churches around the Akwetia township, pushing their campaign messages in the last-ditch attempt. Final rallies are as well expected to conclude campaign activities. And my colleague Marina Agbata have been there since yesterday, and will just give us update on this very intended by-election. Talk to us, Marina, about campaigning and the general mood in this afternoon. And we are trying to, engage my colleague Marina Agbata. And yesterday he mentioned that some 5,000 police personnel are supposed to be deployed for this very exercise. And the political parties are actually wrapping up their campaign. And Marina will be joining us shortly. If you just tuned in, you're watching Weekend Central on TV3 here with me, George Quinn. Get interactive with us. We are live on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. Marina, if you can hear us, talk to us about campaigning and the general mood this afternoon in Akwetia.
Hello, George. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. I think it's okay. So, and we'll try and then engage or connect with my colleague Marina Agbata. He is in Akwetia days before the by-election slated for September 2. That's on Tuesday. In more news this afternoon, Vice President for External Affairs at Goldfields, Michael Akafia, is actually urging for security of tenure to encourage long-term investment in Ghana. Making the call on the sidelines of a visit by the Parliamentary Select Committee on Lands and Natural Resources, he noted that mining is a capital-intensive, long-term and high-risk venture, making security of tenure critical for investors, both foreign and Ghanaians. Erama Smith has more. And let's go back to Alia's story, which has to do with the by-election in Akwetia. Marina Agbata, I hear you can. I'm told you can actually engage us now. And so the two political parties have been moving from churches around the Akwetia township, pushing their campaign messages in the last-ditch attempt. And final rallies are as well expected to conclude campaign activities. Marina Agbata is joining us once again. Marina, can you paint for us a picture of how the situation is like in Akwetia this afternoon?
Right, George. And so if you come to Akwetia, well, specifically in the township of Kusi, where it's been quite very interesting, supporters of both the NDC and then the NPP all here together as one, because the NPP team was here a short while ago. The former flag bearer of the party, Dr. Bawumia, along with a number of MPs as well, and the parliamentary candidate for the upcoming by-election, Sumadu, all were present here at the Traditional Authorities Palace, which is just behind us, and that brought about a lot of police presence and a lot of supporters of the NPP as well. You continue to hear the noise in the background. They are very much excited as to exactly what's happening. They are very confident that they are going to win because of the many things. The former vice president is here. Some top guns are here. Leadership, national executives of the NPP as well have been here, and they are all but excited, looking forward to voting on Tuesday, and then their candidates emerging victorious as well. The NDC as well has been here on motorbikes, sweeping through the Kusi community as well, strongly with their vuvuzelas, amongst a lot of other things, and also campaigning quite strongly. And so the last day of campaigning, what we understand from the NPP is that this is going to be the strategy. They are going to be moving from community to community. They are not interested in a final rally of any sort at all, are just interested in visiting as many areas as they can, the top brass of the party, along with the candidates. They visited churches all throughout the morning. We know the NDC as well have been visiting churches from different places all throughout the morning. But the NDC were expecting them to hold a final rally at Boedia, the Boedia Township at 2 p.m. thereabout. Well, we are expecting as well the opening of that DVLA office a lot later in the afternoon. And so all of that is culminating into very serious political activity on the final day of campaigning here in the Akwetia Township, George.
Other four when breaking news about to see John Dramani Mahama na wa banning an authorized attendance such as say government official our person call 80th UN General Assembly no say ye Ghana approval say office of the presidency just say Julius Debra chief of staff more approval upon the untumi nko sa gathering ni bi da odofo we any breaking news abeto jams bidini na bro any NPP for so Akwetia by election so ekoso no na say campaign kese a various political parties na ye ewo ho no ma bidini nyina bro ewo Ghanatube for memory person be like no ma subscribe no ma share no ma hit notification bell so ma send be a abri ni abibia do content say a wo wonya ne tempa no ahwe no item odofo aha na me de nsem nya besi ewo Ghanatube so bakra mu nyina medamu nyina se bebre